than a 2-week period is what they used to do. If the DEC does issue a ban, they will let us know, so we kind of have to alert that in case.
Before you light the fire, call the fire control, the number that's on the permit.
And we write that right on the permit.
And they will know down there whether or not there's a ban on burn.
Okay, good, thank you.
DEC lets them know, so when you call.
This is all kind of new for us, so I appreciate your help.
When you
along the
call,
way.
they will let you know if DEC has put a ban out,
Okay,
not to burn. If it's a real windy day, I'm gonna tell you, the dispatcher is gonna recommend to you not to burn,
thank you.
because they don't wanna have to dispatch us back out.
If you get a ban for a specific time, if you let us know, we can put it on the website too.
And if we don't always know about it
Okay.
personally. If we find out, we try to post it on the bulletin boards that the fire stations have.
Okay, let us know, we'll put it on the website, because that's been announced now.
I mean, if it gets real dry, we will know that there's a ban, and that's usually noted. We try to let you know as much as we know. They're not always so cooperative to let us know on our part till later.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I know Helen Chase and her friend Ed were supposed to be here tonight. Those of you that were here at the last town board meeting know of the rantings that took place. I don't really want to go into all that, but they were going to come tonight and tell their side of the story. I see they're not here. I personally won't allow that to happen again. We'll just adjourn the meeting and that'll be it. I've been asked by a number of people to invoke the Robert's Rules of Orders, but if you understand, anybody that knows that, it's very restrictive. You don't say anything unless you call me earlier, get on the agenda, and then you have to give the subject. And I don't think the town of Olive never had it. I don't think the town of Olive needs it. I just think there's a few people that should speak their piece. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I have no problem with that. The town board doesn't have any problem with that. But we're gonna do it orderly, and we're not gonna chastise anyone. I mean, to me, it was a total disgrace. I'm used the word pissed off at myself because I let it go that far. I thought it would stop on its own. It didn't. Well, it's not going to start again. None of us want it. I don't think any of you folks want it. And I don't think the people that were involved wanted it. It just was like a feeding frenzy, and it just has to stop. Elections are over. Get on with it. Get over it. Another 2 years goes fast. Does anyone else have a comment? Yes.
I'd like to make a comment to our town board. 2 items today that were discussed. One being this enhanced land trust program. I guess I want to say that I'm kind of disappointed in the town board's reaction to that. I've been aware of what's happening in the town of Olive for 50 years. And it wasn't 10, okay? Our tax base is getting smaller and smaller. Hence, those of us who live here are shouldering a larger and larger amount of what is needed in taxes. And when I look at this land base, the enhanced land trust program, it sounded to me like you guys are really in favor of this. And I have to say, I'm not. If somebody wants to sell their property, let them sell it on their own. Let's not get into this, let the city have it. The city already has too much of our town. The city is not paying, in my opinion, its fair share in terms of acreage. And consequently, those of us who live here may not be able to afford to live here much longer. I was also here tonight when you folks talked about the scenic highway, Route 28. And you made that. I saw nothing but possibilities that could come out of that. There are scenic highways all over Pennsylvania, all over Vermont, and the little villages along the way profit from that. When people who are traveling see scenic highway advertising, they usually take it because it's a beautiful ride, and they take their time. They get hungry, they stop and they buy food. The car that gets hungry, they stop and they buy gas. Some of them even stop and look for vacation places. But you folks just let that go right on by. And I have to say, I'm really disappointed in that. So I'm going to ask you, as a town board, instead of jumping on the bandwagon, look for ways to help our town grow.
Can I just respond? I just wanted to, as far as the scenic byway is concerned, that has not been denied. That we have not voted on that. And not everybody on the town board, felt that it was a bad thing. There was a lot of discussion that night. But just so that you know, it has not been a resolved issue. It has not been voted on. So that is not something that the town board has let go. It just hasn't been resolved as of today's meeting. But there will be a vote on it, I'm sure. Yes?
Yes.
There will be a vote on it.
It hasn't really been presented to the public in any meaningful way. There were no copies available at the last meeting, and I suspect maybe that's why you didn't act on it. But it hasn't really been presented to the public, to the stakeholder groups. Usually that occurs first before a vote to approve. Is that correct? I'm saying it wasn't presented to the public, so it's it's premature
again,
perhaps to vote on it.
Again, I can't say that it hasn't been presented to the public because the people that were presenting it had held public meetings. And just because people don't go to them doesn't mean that they're not a public meeting. Again, it's that same.
Look,
So the meetings for the collaborative that was working on it had meetings that were open to the public and people could go and.
There seems to be some provisions in there that were not covered at the meetings, and I think that's what the,
Well, again, as I
lack
said,
of
it
clarity
has not
about.
been determined, so just so that you know that, no, that is not something that we have voted on and said we weren't going to support.
Just so that you know, so that nobody thinks there's a secret out there, I got a call a couple days ago, and there's gonna be a meeting on it at the Shandaken Town Hall on Thursday, January 9th at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, 19th.
Yeah, the 19th.
Excuse me.
But we did have
I'm sorry, what time is
presentation
it?
here at the last town board
I
meeting.
got a call from Mr. Selkowitz the other day about it.
I did
There were
too.
no copies available, and the public had no advance notice of a 130-page document.
Isn't it on the internet?
Yeah.
On our
Yes, some-
Facebook
Well-
or whatever you call
Again,
it?
sometimes information is there.
That's true. There's an excellent editorial in today's Freeman about document availability from, local municipalities. And I believe Cuomo just signed a law that lays out that the documents must be available before a meeting, which would be really nice. So that is a new law. You may want to check today's Freeman editorial for more details on that.
I will get copies and we'll have them here. They'll
If
be
I-
in the town clerk's office, they'll be in my office.
Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
rather than ride around and hand them out, that's.
If I could just address the enhanced land trust program.